Today in the episode, Special. Lunatics share their secret techniques for bringing the enemy to a boil. Voice of the Wasteland, where we read your messages and choose the craft of the episode. And we begin with Special. Steppenwolves make a stand for honor and coordinated teamwork. We have a bit of a situation today. The thing is, our broadcasting station has been visited by the esteemed representatives of the Steppenwolves and the Lunatics. And now they demand that you, the people that are currently tuning in, that is, that you decide who has the right idea about the rules for proper conduct in battle. Dear guests, stop breaking our table. This is the only table we have. So, the opening session of the first ever Wasteland Summit on the rules of combat begins now. The Steppenwolves have the first word.
Chaos, madness, mountains and mountains of broken vehicles, and a complete disregard for basic rules of engagement. This is the reality of Wasteland warfare, but it shouldn't be like that. We, Steppenwolves, will show you how to fight in an efficient and deliberate way. The first and the most important rule, stick to your team and respect your allies. There are many ways you can do that. Sometimes you flip them back on their wheels. Sometimes you cover their backs. Sometimes it's as simple as telling them that they're doing a good job. It's just like in the Steel Championship. It's a team effort, and only a team can win. Imagine that you're invading Sinto City. A single survivor won't be able to capture the base, as the process can be initiated both from down below and from the upper level, from the overpass. You'll have to work with your team to succeed. Another important thing is something that we wolves call being combat ready. The idea is that you should only ride into battle in a car that's actually combat worthy. It can be any shape or size. We're talking about equipment and weapons. Pick any hardware you like. But you should have a plan, and different modules should work with each other. We wolves like long-range engagements and ambushes, and that's why we build cars that are great for doing exactly that, with wheels and everything. War is serious business. Moving on. Don't steal the prey of your packmates. First of all, we live in the wastes. There are always enough targets for everyone. Second, when survivors get greedy, it often leads to a situation where one wreck of a car is hunted by half of the combat team. Not only is that conduct unbecoming of a true warrior, but it also makes things needlessly more difficult for the rest of the pack, as the other half of the team has to fight against a more numerous enemy force while greedy survivors fight over scraps. And where are you going at Mach 5? Yeah, the combat zone isn't that big. Everyone's trying to get to the enemy as fast as possible, I get that. But don't forget that not every vehicle can move at the speed of light. A couple of tracked vehicles left behind by their team are no longer a force that can shield their teammates from a torrent of bullets. They're just a snack before the main course. And the main course is gonna be you. Remember, the pack moves at the speed of the slowest Goliath in it. Dixie.
That's it for the Steppenwolves. Thank you. Before the Lunatics have their say, a short commercial break.
A new song by Psycho P. I'm driving in a straight line, there's a hole, we dive right in. Now out on audio tapes.
Teamwork? Who needs that crap? Look around. We live in the wastes, the land of no laws and utter chaos. This life isn't about being respected by other drivers. Can't believe that I'm even saying this sappy nonsense. It's about making the enemy fear you. Heck, even in the Steel Championship that you mentioned, you can now wreck other cars, make them explode. What does that say about our world? But it's not enough to just blow them up, no! You have to drive the enemy up the wall, make them explode with rage. How to do that? Glad you asked. First, ditch your guns.
Well, maybe leave a shotgun or two if you can't live without your pew-pew toys. Say what you want, but all your sniping just isn't as rage-inducing as a surprise rain that the enemy can't even dodge because of all that sweet stealth. I know what I'm talking about. I know fear and despair when I see it. You don't like melee? That's weird, but there are other ways to make them boil with rage. Just use those little explodey robot friends. Yeah, they're a dime a dozen in the waste, but what if I told you that the correct way to use them is in batshit crazy numbers? When there's a whole horde of drones coming your way, there's no escape. It just works. Especially if there are several vehicles deploying drones at the same time. We tested that on Nomads. Boy, were they furious. That was a good day. But why stop there? Make yourself a vehicle that can only destroy an enemy in some convoluted, obscure way. For example, you can grind them down with shivs sticking out of your wheels. There was a craft like that in the show, by the way. The Hugger, right! Ah, it was fun. It doesn't work most of the time, but when it does work, it's pure magic. To hell with efficiency, there's only madness. Not enough for you? Attaboy. Well, if you really want to make them miserable, bring out the cursed weapon, the cap cans. They're banned in our camp, of course, but I still use them when I want to make my day a bit brighter. And yeah, you can get out and survive if there's only one trap, but if there's a whole bunch of them, there's no escape, even on a hover. Serves them right, by the way. But the best bit happens after you catch them in your trap. Take something that makes things hot, like explosive barrels, flamethrowers. Hell, even a mandrake can work if you enjoy using the junk made by those military types, that is. And off you go! Barbecue time! You get the idea. All in all, it's all about having fun. And fun is when things go boom. Here you go. Now give me something I can break. Thanks. That was a representative of the Lunatics. Naturally, we think that these two approaches to warfare can be easily combined, but maybe there's more to it than what we know. What do you think? Who won this round?
Stop breaking the damn table, you buffoons!
The first message for today was sent by Flimc. Hey there, is there any chance of more truck cabins coming to the game? Greetings, Survivor. The answer is a resounding yes. More truck cabins for the truck cabin god. Justice Ballard asks,
are we ever gonna get those giant wheels from the drone apocalypse Leviathan in the game for us to attach to our rides? Maybe as the first legendary chassis?
Hi, no, we don't plan to do that. The wheels are sick, though. Then there's this question by Vincent Moffett. Hello, Crossout team. How about an actual air-cushioned moving part? Maybe it could come in two separate parts like the Midrunners. Thank you for reading. Hi, Vincent. Oof, honestly, we feel that there's still work to be done on regular hovers that we have in the game, so no plans to implement your proper ACVs right now. A survivor known as Rockroach says,
Hey Crossout team, I'm a big fan of the Photon cabin and was wondering if you could look at the Photon's build hitbox. On a similar note, is there any chance you could add more structure parts that have a 45-degree angle to go with it?
Hi, we make new structure parts angled at 45 degrees from time to time, and we're not going to stop doing that, so more of them are bound to come into the game later down the line. Keep your eyes peeled. As for the Photon's hitbox, what's wrong with it? Please tell us in the comments or submit a bug report. Thank you. Then there's this comment by Greg Gardner. They give me a voice that make me sound regal. Squee! Greg, you are regal. Don't believe anyone that says otherwise. And here's the segment of the show where we pick one craft from the exhibition, something that we really liked. It was a crazy day with all that summit business and whatnot, so we crave something normal, something no nonsense and simple, just like this combat vehicle, Photon by Noran Show. A no-frills, utilitarian design. It's perfect. Just what the doctor ordered. Thanks. That's it for today. Tell us what you think in the comments below, ask us questions, and if we somehow get all those Steppenwolves and Lunatics out of the building, we'll return with some new crazy content in a couple of weeks. If you like what we're doing, consider subscribing, leave a like, and good luck.